everyone, Professor Travis Tooke here. In this video I want to talk to you a little bit about what training Jiu-Jitsu and living a lifestyle of ongoing training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has done for me. And originally the idea for this video was to just talk about Jiu-Jitsu and all of the benefits of it and what someone can expect and gain from participating in it. But I realized I can't really do that. I don't know the perspective of every individual. And I know that everyone's experience and journey is going to be completely different. And I could be vague and narrow it down to some of the health benefits and the friendships and all that, but everyone is a little bit different, so I figured I would just share what it has done for me, and hopefully it resonates with some of you, and I'd love to hear back from you about what it means to you, those of you that train Jiu-Jitsu. So I'll start with the physical. This one's the most obvious. Obviously, training Jiu-Jitsu is a great way to stay in shape. For me, I like to exercise and do other activities, but I would always put Jiu-Jitsu first in terms of its ability to keep me fit, keep me in shape, flexible, and maintain a high energetic lifestyle. It's basically a way for me to stay young as I keep getting older. The other component is the mental side of things, and you hear people talk about this a lot. For me, I feel like it's a way to problem solve. This is something that every single class involves problem solving during Jiu-Jitsu. Whether it's finding a better way to drill a technique, to apply a technique, or if you just continue to have the same difficulty during sparring, you are constantly engaged in solving that problem. And that never should end. It never does. If you're training with somebody who you can beat, then your responsibility is to put yourself against people and in positions that force you to solve the problem of escaping that position or getting out of there. Mentally, Jiu-Jitsu is by far one of the most intellectually stimulating activities that I have ever been a part of. It continues to be that way to this very day. I remember early on, before I ever even started, just watching the early UFCs and trying to understand how a smaller person was able to defeat a larger person with these techniques. Then I remember getting into it as a white belt and using a lot of strength and getting really tired and exhausted, and then progressing toward blue belt and starting to rely more and more on technique. But even to this day, as a black belt, I still feel challenged because I'm always learning and I'm always in a state of mind where I'm forced to solve a problem. I feel like every great black belt continues to experience this. That's why Jiu-Jitsu is one of the greatest activities for maintaining a childlike imagination, because we have to be creative when it comes to solving these problems on the mat. If somebody's bigger and stronger than you, that doesn't mean that they should just beat you. It means that you have to find out why their strength and size is a problem for what you're trying to figure out. Why someone's speed is a problem. If someone's just more technical than you, the answer to that is you must improve your technique to rise to the occasion and make that a more even match. This has never diminished in my 21 years of training. I have always felt that Jiu-Jitsu gave me a problem to solve. And with that kind of idea, that concept, I try to approach other problem areas, whether it be business, relationship. I look at everything from a standpoint of there is a solution to this, and it just has to be explored deeper and thought about from a different angle. And that's really what Jiu-Jitsu has taught me, mentally, how to approach different problems. Emotionally, all the closest people in my life, with the exception of family, all of my closest friends, I have met through martial arts, and my closest relationships are from people that I have sparred and trained with over the years. Jiu-Jitsu allows you to connect with people in a very special way. The reason why is because of the trust required to get on the mat with someone, basically shake their hand and say, okay, I'm going to try to submit you. That means I'm going to try to put you in a choke, put you in a compromising position, and I know that you're going to try to do the same thing to me, but I promise that I will take good care of you, and I trust that you'll do that for me as well. And this is something I've had trouble explaining to people, because if you haven't been a part of an environment like that, it can seem very strange. And I know people of different sports will say something very similar to this, that relationship is forged in the battle that you have with the other person. The fact that you know when that person is trying to choke you and put you in a Kimura and twist you all around, they're making you better. And that's what you're here for. You want to get better at this, at the art that you've chosen, at this sport that you've chosen to be your sport, your art. The thing that you want to master and be a black belt of requires that that other person does their best to beat you while maintaining a level of respect to not try to hurt you. And you have to give that back. And that creates a very tight bond with the people that you train with every day. That's how you make these strong emotional connections with other people. That's how I felt that my friendships have been strengthened over the years with the people I'm closest to. It's the people that are on the mat trying to tap me out and me trying to give that back. But with that, you know, especially early on, you get tapped out a lot. It doesn't always feel good to lose a match. It doesn't always feel good to get tapped out over and over by somebody better than you as you're coming up the ranks. And if you don't learn how to control your emotions during this growth phase, then you will not be emotionally resilient. You'll want to quit. To become a black belt, you have to be tapped out thousands of times. You have to be beat by people smaller than you, people much older than you, people younger than you, people of all different backgrounds and different body types and shapes. Sometimes girls will beat boys, sometimes boys beat girls. You have to get beyond that and know that it is all part of you becoming this person that you want to be on the mat. So the emotional resilience that is formed as you're developing your skills really strengthens your character. And not only that, when you're training, you're sweating, you're making connections with people, you get all the feel-good chemicals that go with it. All the endorphins that are released while you're doing this just allow you to be in a good place on the mat. It doesn't rid you of your external world problems, but for that moment, you can be in the moment. You can be completely engaged in this one activity. Financial problems, your relationship problems, your problems at work, family problems, whatever else is going on can be put to the side momentarily while you become completely present. That's how I feel, at least. I feel that when I'm training, I'm in that moment. And nothing is a distraction because I try to be completely engaged. And if I find myself drifting off, I focus back on what I'm doing. And again, when you leave the mat, like if I leave the mat and I have some other BS going on in my life at that time, it's still there waiting. But my approach to it is very different after a great training session. After I sweat, after I connect with my teammates, and after we go through that together, the anxiety and fear that I may have associated with another problem has gone way down. And my approach to solving that problem has come up. Always been a huge emotional benefit for myself when I train Jiu-Jitsu. And the last topic that I want to mention here is spiritual. The only reason I'm saying spiritual is because I don't have a better word for this. This is not a religious meaning when I say it. There's just no other way to describe the connection of all three of these, physical, mental, and emotional connection, happening all at once in one special moment. And you can describe it from a scientific point of view and say, well, the chemicals in your brain are being released and the focus required and all the things happening, in your mind that bring about this moment. But there's no way to explain that and have somebody else have any idea what you're talking about. If you're watching this and you don't train, I can't possibly explain the magic that happens from a productive Jiu-Jitsu training session on the mat. If you do train, then you know that my words are doing it no justice because you've experienced it, and it's hard to express that verbally. The other thing that I'll say with that on the spiritual side of things is that I feel that it's the ongoing search of discovery on the mat. It's the ongoing search for trying to find out more about yourself, more about the life that you live, more about what kind of a person you want to be. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, share it, and leave a comment. Let me know what Jiu-Jitsu means to you and what are some of the benefits that you receive from ongoing training in Jiu-Jitsu or any other martial art. If Jiu-Jitsu is not your thing, I'd love to hear those as well. See you next time.